Hello, chismosas y chismosos, and welcome back to Bay Area Housewife of True Crime, where I like to tell the stories of the real cucuys and lloronas of the world. We are at part 4, last and final, of the Tare Ramirez and the brutal unaliving of Claire Joyce Tempungo. As a reminder, topics may be triggering. Viewer and listener discretion is very strongly advised. The people mentioned are innocent until proven guilty in court. At trial, Tare's public defender, Matthew Rosen, said that his client had stabbed Claire after she told him, and I quote, "I killed your bastard. I had an abortion. I was right," unquote. What absolute fucking trash. Her mom, Clara, testified that she offered to send Claire and her kids on an extended trip to the Philippines so that they could take some time away, leave him, and heal. Claire would decline her mother's pleas for help. Prosecutors elaborated on Tare's obsessive, tormenting jealousy that came hand in hand with physical abuse and multiple calls to 911. The district attorney further explained that on the day that she was murdered, Claire and a male friend and the kids went shopping for Halloween costumes. When she got home, he, as in Tare, hounded her on where she was and how she could have the audacity to go anywhere without him. And finally, in September of 2008, then now 35-year-old real-life cucuy named Tare Beltrán Ramirez was found guilty by a San Francisco County jury after a week of deliberation of second-degree murder with a special allegation of use of a deadly weapon. He was convicted of second-degree murder because the jury could not agree on whether or not the murder was premeditated. I absolutely think it was premeditated. All of those years of abuse, and you don't think it was his intent to kill her all those times that he beat her? Did premeditation start the first or the second or the third or the fourth time? In December of 2008, Judge Robert Dondero handed Tare a 16 years to life prison sentence, which he served at San Quentin. At the sentencing, the judge said, and I quote, "No human relationship can ever be described as ups and downs when it comes to domestic violence. Your behavior lowered yourself to the level of an animal," unquote. Clara's son Justin looked straight at his mom's killer and called him a ruthless murderer who could not control himself. When given the opportunity to speak, the killer that stabbed a woman 21 times said how wonderful of a person that she was and how he loved her children as his own. Tare, Nicolás, Beltrán, Chuc went on to say, and I quote, "God knows that deep in my heart I regret what happened as much as you do," unquote. Tare appealed his conviction and it was overturned in March of 2011 on the basis that the trial jury's instruction wrongfully implied that the juries could convict Tare of manslaughter only if they decided that stabbing was a reasonable response to Claire's alleged revelation of an abortion, and a new trial was demanded. In June of 2011, the California Supreme Court agreed to review the case, and thankfully in June of 2013, the California Supreme Court reinstated his murder conviction. In their opinion, Justice Carol Corrigan wrote, and I quote, "We affirm today the standard for determining heat of passion that we adopted nearly a century ago. Provocation is adequate only when it would render an ordinary person on average disposition liable to act rashly or without due deliberation and reflection, and from this passion rather than from judgment," unquote. Another appeal for his conviction thankfully was denied in March of 2014. Tare was sentenced to 16 years to life in prison in December of 2008. He was out on parole in 2018 As of this recording, Tare, Nicolás, Beltrán, Chuc, aka Tare Ramirez, is a free man. If you or someone you know is a victim of domestic violence, please reach out for help before it is too late. We've reached the end of today's episode over at Bay Area Housewife of True Crime. Thank you so much for coming down the rabbit hole where I currently live. Stay tuned for the next episode on the next case. Make sure to follow me on socials. My personal IG is at bayarea.housewife. The podcast's IG is at Bay Area HW of True Crime. You can find full episodes of these recordings on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and YouTube at Bay Area Housewife of True Crime. If you like my content, do me a solid and rate my show wherever you listen. As always, I respect and accept your opinions. I welcome all comments, questions, case suggestions, etc. Call me, beat me at yayareahousewife@gmail.com. And yes, that's yay area with the Y, like E40 said. I'll see you chismosas y chismosos in the next. Adios.